Well, we're hearing directly from the Kremlin about all these new developments in the Russian investigation. A spokesman for President Vladimir Putin tells CNN he agrees with President Trump's assessment that relations between the US and Russia are at a dangerous low. Well, our Oren Lieberman joins me now from Moscow. Oren, Russia not only irritated by the ongoing investigation, but now seemingly turning on Donald Trump, the man who was once their great hope.
Absolutely. For 6 or 7 months, even longer than that, before the investigation, it was Trump, they felt, who could improve U.S.-Russia relations and perhaps give them some relief from sanctions. But it seems like now they've acknowledged or are beginning to acknowledge that that's simply not going to happen with the overwhelming passage in Congress of the sanctions bill, as well as President Trump's signature on it. Most of that anger is directed towards Congress, not towards President Trump. They've accused Congress here of an anti-Russia hysteria. Trump comes out of this looking weak from their perspective and not standing up to the sanctions bill and fighting it. This from Prime Minister Dmitry Medvedev. He says in a tweet, the Trump administration has shown its total weakness by handing over executive power to Congress in the most humiliating way. So Trump, who was, of course, viewed very favorably here, not so much, it seems, anymore with the passage and signing of the sanctions bill. Linda?
Yes, certainly very furious about that sanctions bill, which President Trump was essentially forced to sign. But the Russians also made a pretty dire prediction for Trump's future.
Well, they've said, or at least hinted, that he should be out now, and based on some of the statements they've seen over the last few days. And that also indicates their view of him and how that has shifted so dramatically over the course of the last few weeks and perhaps the last month or so as the sanctions bill has come into major play in Washington. Both the U.S. and Russia have at this point said that relations between the two countries are bad and not improving anytime soon. It was Secretary of State Rex Tillerson who said that they're the worst they've been since the Cold War. And even if that's a bit of an exaggeration, it gets to the point that they're not getting better anytime in the short term here, Linda.
All right, Oren Lieberman, good to have you with us from Moscow. Thank you.